first two slides. By 12 o'clock, 12:30. Okay, we'll see. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. So we'll start with the prayer. Om Ajnantimarandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurue Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om. So today we are going to talk about Srila Prabhupada and his determination. He arrived in the US yesterday, that date, and so we'll be talking about his determination in accomplishing what he accomplished. He accomplished a lot, and he was 70 years old, yet he accomplished so many things during a very short time. And he faced with so many obstacles, and he overcame them, and because of his determination. And so we'll study how he did many things and how his determination was applicable. And we'll see how other things about Srila Prabhupada also. Okay, so Our verse for today is chapter 18, verse 33. And this talks about determination. Dhritya yaya tarayate, yaya tarayate, manaha pranendriya kriyaha, yogena vyabhicharinya, dhritihi sa partha satvike. Dhritya yaya tarayate, manaha pranendriya kriyaha, yogena vyabhicharinya, dhritihi sa partha satvike. Dhritya yaya dharayate, manaha pranendriya kriyaha, yogena vyabhicharinya, dhritihi sa partha satvike. Anyone can chant? Dhritya yaya dharayate, manendriya kriyaha, yogena vyabhicharinya, dhritihi sa partha satvike. Dhritya yaya dharayate, manaha pranendriya kriyaha, yogena vyabhicharinya, dhritiya sa partha satvike. Translation. O son of Pratha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of the mind, life, and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness. So this is what the translation is, that it is unbreakable. It is also sustained with steadfastness. By what? By yoga practice, and which thus controls the mind, life senses, and this determination is in the mode of goodness. So in the purport, and this is a very short purport, yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with a determination, concentrating one's mind, life, and sensory activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. That sort of determination is in the mode of goodness. The word avyabhicharenya is very significant, for it indicates that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. So the purport is very simple. It just says that the word avyabhicharenya is very significant, for it indicates that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. So there may be other activities that are going on, but they are not deviated by that. And Srila Prabhupada fits this description. So these are all the slides that I'm going to show. Srila Prabhupada was born on September 1st, 1896 in Calcutta, and he was named Abhaycharan by his father. And his father's name was Gaura Mohan De, and mother Rajini Devi were ardent devotees of Lord Krishna. So they brought him up with same fervor. So he was also engaged in devotional service and worship of Lord Krishna. Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 6:42 regarding such birth in a family of transcendentalists. So his parents were transcendentalists, and so he took a birth in that, and says that so the birth in a family of transcendentalists as being very rare. So it's very rare to get a birth in that in the world. But it takes place so that these souls can make further spiritual progress from where they left off in their previous life. Srila Prabhupada met his Guru Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur the first time in the year 1922 in Calcutta. So he was, I think, 26 years old, 25, 26 years old. On that very first meeting, he was asked to spread Krishna consciousness in English-speaking countries. So this is the first meeting, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati told him that because you people, you boys are talking in English, you should spread this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so he formally, then Prabhupada became formally disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in 11 years later, in 1933. Prabhupada's determination was a cornerstone of his life, and it was characterized by unwavering perseverance, patience, and a deep faith in mission to spread Krishna consciousness. So he was very determined. Once he became the disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he took up that mission. He gave the example of a sparrow, and this sparrow was says that to dry up the ocean, to illustrate the importance of tireless, faithful effort in achieving even seemingly impossible spiritual goals. And the story about the sparrow is that once the ocean swallowed the eggs of a sparrow, and the sparrow demanded that the eggs be returned from the ocean. And the ocean didn't care about a little bird and asking for her eggs to be returned. Again, it was an impulse. So the sparrow decided that he will dry up the ocean. Now just imagine how big the sparrow is and how big the ocean is, and the sparrow is going to dry up the ocean. It's an impossible task. But the sparrow started taking water in its beak and emptying the beak out on the beach. People laughed at the sparrow that she is doing an impossible task. The ocean is so big, and she is just taking a little bit of water from the ocean and taking it out on the beach. The news reached Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, and he thought that he would help out the little sparrow. So he came to help the sparrow. He demanded that the ocean return the eggs, or he would dry up the ocean. So now the Garuda is telling ocean that you better return the eggs or else. And lo and behold, ocean returned the eggs right away. Srila Prabhupada used this example to convince other people that you have to have good determination. Srila Prabhupada was met with many obstacles in his life while spreading Krishna consciousness, having taken up his Guru's order. And he took up the Guru's order as life and soul. So he was determined to spread Krishna consciousness, and he was going to try. He didn't know what kind of obstacles he was going to face, but he was determined to overcome the obstacles with faith in Krishna. To go abroad to USA, when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati asked him to go abroad, actually he meant to like England and Europe. But Prabhupada thought that if I go to America and make disciples there, then people in India and other countries will also follow the example. So to go to abroad to USA, Srila Prabhupada approached a lady by the name of Sumati Morarji, whom he knew her. She was the first lady of Indian shipping. She was instrumental in developing the Such India steam navigation company in 1965 after being repeatedly denied. So she actually told Prabhupada that, why do you want to go? You are already close to 70 years old, and the travel will be very difficult and you may not even survive. But Prabhupada insisted. He was determined. He wanted to go. He wanted to carry out his Guru Maharaj's order. And so he kept on going to Sumati Morarji time after time and asking her that he wants to go. Finally, she gave him a free ticket and asked him and let him go to New York from Calcutta. Morarji's support also, there was another thing that was keeping in Morarji's mind, and that is that there was a commitment that was made by her late father-in-law. And what was the commitment? The commitment was that we should be helping the Gaudiya Math's efforts in spreading Krishna consciousness to the Western world. That was the commitment that her father-in-law, whose name was Narottam Morarji, and she knew about it because he told her, and so this was also fulfilled because Prabhupada belonged to Gaudiya Math. So, as we can understand, this was Krishna's arrangement. At 69, Prabhupada embarked on the cargo ship Jaladuta for a difficult 35-day journey. It took 35 days for that ship to go from Calcutta to New York. During the voyage, he suffered 2 severe heart attacks. See, for an old man, like 70 years old, with the waves and so on, and the ship going up and down, he suffered 2 really bad heart attacks, but he survived. In his diary, he wrote about this, that his full dependence on Lord Krishna's mercy to complete his mission. And that is very important, that he was not saying that I am going to complete this mission. No, he was dependent on Krishna to complete this mission. And that was something that we need to also learn, that we have to depend on Krishna. Srila Prabhupada suffered severe poverty in the USA also. Why? Prabhupada arrived in America with almost no money. The 40 rupees that the Indian government gave him were non-convertible in the USA, leaving him penniless. There was nothing that he could use to buy food and lodging or anything like that. So he was poverty-stricken. He initially supported himself by selling his books, because he has taken Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto and second canto that he had translated. And so he would sell those to the bookstores and get some money and use that money for his food and lodging. Now, one can imagine being poor in a foreign country is a real hardship. We just put ourselves in his position, and we can think how we are going to survive. Also, while living in New York, his apartment was broken into, and his books, typewriter, and tape recorder were stolen. A devastating loss for someone with so few possessions. He didn't have very many possessions, but these were very important possessions: typewriter, tape recorder, and the books, because he translated, and so when they were all taken, that was really devastating. He used his typewriter and tape recorder for typing and dictating the translations of Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic scriptures. So such thefts were a setback in his daily routine. After the theft, a student gave him temporary shelter in a Bowery loft, where his roommate was a mentally unstable drug addict. So a student extended his place so that he can have a room, he can live there. So one time that drug addict tried to kill Prabhupada, and Prabhupada had to run out of the apartment and go out on the road. So for some time, a student gave him shelter before he was able to rent a storefront and an apartment at 26th 2nd Avenue. 26th 2nd Avenue is a very famous place. That's where there is a ISKCON temple. And this was rented for $200 per month. $200 per month is a lot of money in those days. And we are talking 1966, 65. Also, Srila Prabhupada recognized the immense cultural divide he was facing. What kind of cultural divide? He saw American population as absorbed in ignorance and passion, and predicted that they would reject his strict teachings against illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. These are the four regulative principles that we follow. And he was worried that they probably will not do that because of the cultural divide that he's seeing. So these are some of the problems that he's encountering, yet he's not giving it up. He's not saying that I better go back to India, but he survived. To reach people, he began holding weekly kirtans, devotional singing that we normally do. And he did it in Tompkins Square Park. His audience consisted mostly of hippies and counterculture youths, many of whom were heavily involved in drugs. So this is the kind of audience that he had. And he started kirtan in Tompkins Squares. The movement initially grew among this group, drawn to the spiritual experience he offered. So people were attracted to Srila Prabhupada because he told them that there will be spiritual experience if you follow me. His spiritual message and the lifestyle he advocated, and the lifestyle was being vegetarian, lead a celibate life, and also renunciation, were in a difficult opposition to the prevailing social norms of the 1960s. He expressed concern about whether Americans would be able to understand his message. So this is another thing that went through his mind, that with this kind of background that the audience has, whether they will understand what I'm going to talk about. Spiritual knowledge, when we talk about it, it's not that easy to understand and to accept. It was a very difficult situation. How was he going to spread Krishna consciousness among these people and carry out his Guru's order? That was always worrying him. But Prabhupada was very determined, and he had immense faith in Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada had to build the entire organization from nothing. He had no established community, no funding, and no infrastructure. He began with classes in his small apartment, relying on the enthusiasm of a few dedicated followers. So he started out small, but slowly and gradually the students' population increased. Srila Prabhupada began initiating his own disciples in the United States in September of 1966. So just imagine, he arrived in 1965 and he started initiating in 1966 within 1 year's time, with the first recorded initiation being the acceptance of a fellow by the name of Keith in New York City. This process was formalized after he established the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, or ISKCON, in July of the same year. So within 1 year, he established this society, ISKCON. In September of 1966, some of Prabhupada's followers at his storefront temple on New York's Lower East Side felt ready to become his disciples. One of his first initiates was Keith Ham. He was originally given, when he was attending the classes, as Keith, Keith Prabhu, who was given this spiritual name, Krishna Das. In the first year of his movement, Prabhupada initiated 19 people, requiring them to follow 4 regulative principles and chant 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra daily. So these 19 people accepted the 4 regulative principles and also chanting of the 16 rounds every day. The 16 rounds, actually, Prabhupada started out by saying that we need to chant 64 rounds, and they said, well, that is not possible for us. And then he reduced it to 32 rounds, and that too was too many because many of these people were working, and so they said they cannot do that. So finally, Prabhupada came down to 16 rounds and no less. It is interesting to note that Srila Prabhupada was successful in organizing another item of Krishna consciousness, and that is the Rath Yatra in the West. And this happened in the second year in the USA. The Rath Yatra started with a festival organized in San Francisco in 1967. So just imagine, he came in 65, and in 1967, he organized a Rath Yatra. This was the first Rath Yatra ever to be organized outside of India, laying the foundation for the tradition spread all over the world as part of the Krishna consciousness movement. Now, Rath Yatra requires building of a chariot. So the first chariots in the West were built by a devotee by the name of Jayanand Prabhu to carry Lord Jagannath and his brother and sister through the streets. Lord Jagannath, Lord Baladev, and Srimati Subhadra Devi, where did they get them? They were carved from wood by Shyam Sundar Das, who was another disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He was a carpenter, and Prabhupada asked him if he can carve these deities in a certain height and length and so on. The way it happened was that Shyam Sundar's wife and other ladies were shopping, and they came across some little forms of Baladev, Jagannath, and Subhadra, but they didn't know who they were. So they went to Srila Prabhupada and asked him, do you know what these? And they actually took only one of them. I think it was either Baladev or Jagannath. And Prabhupada immediately fell down and bowed down to that little bitty deity. And they were surprised why Prabhupada is falling down and bowing down to this little deity. And later they learned who they were. And Prabhupada asked him if there were other two where they shopped, and they said yes, and so bring them. And so these little tiny forms of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra were given to Shyam Sundar Prabhu, to the carpenter, to make them into big deities out of wood. The success in San Francisco led to establishment of Rath Yatra festivals in other cities and countries, including London in 1969, as the movement gained followers all over the world. During the period of October 1970 through October 1973, Srila Prabhupada had to deal with a person by the name of A.B. Nair regarding a land deal. And this was regarding building a temple in Mumbai area. And Srila Prabhupada had promised Lord Krishna at that time that he will build a temple for him. And the land belonged to Mr. Nair, but Mr. Nair wanted to make a lot of money. And so even though he at first agreed, and Srila Prabhupada and his disciples put Lord Krishna's deity on that place and started worshipping there and carrying out the daily routine. At some point, Mr. Nair was not very happy, and he wanted more money. And so Prabhupada and Nair had a lot of arguments about that. Anyway, in the long and short of it is that Krishna was able to get the land for the devotees and for Prabhupada. Now, if you want to read more about this particular project, His Holiness Giriraj Swami, who was involved in the building of the temple, he has written a book titled, I Will Build You a Temple, the Juhu story. Prabhupada has promised Lord Krishna that he will build him a temple, and he is running into a lot of problems. Again, we see his determination to get the land and to build the temple. He did not give up. He did not tell Mr. Nair that, okay, you have your own way. We are getting out of here. No, he didn't say that. He was determined to build a temple for Lord Krishna because he had promised Lord Krishna that he will build a temple for him. Anyway, the book, I Will Build You a Temple, the Juhu story, is a very interesting book. It is worth reading. And let's see. And if once you read it, you get very emotionally involved in that, and how Prabhupada encouraged his disciples to go raise money, funds. And he would tell them that money is there. It's just a matter of going and getting it. And so his disciples would go to big people who owned, I want to say, places where they were, they were well-to-do, and so they collected good amount of money, and they built the temple. Now, there are so many other things that Prabhupada was involved in throughout his life, and every time it was his determination that helped him get through, and he would get what he wanted to do. Now, I want to finish here. In conclusion, we find how Srila Prabhupada set himself as an example for us to have determination that is unbreakable and steadfast, and a strong faith in Lord Krishna to accomplish Krishna consciousness activities. It is very important that we have complete faith in Lord Krishna, and also we need to depend on Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna is in charge, He is in control, and it is not that we are in control or we are in charge, but that is what we think. We think we are in charge, we are in control, and we can accomplish many things, but it doesn't happen that way. So we have to have a total dependence on Krishna, that things will happen because of His involvement. And Prabhupada defined what determination means. He defined determination as continuing with patience and perseverance. Continuing with patience and perseverance. So that was his definition of what determination is. And he taught his disciple to do the same. And his other activities, he translated Bhagavad Gita as it is. He translated Srimad Bhagavatam, which is 18 volumes, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita later on. And he wrote many other books also to promote Krishna consciousness. So we stop here. If anyone has any questions or want to make any comment, or somebody has something to add to Prabhupada's determination and some activity that he was involved in, you can go ahead and tell us about that. Anyone has anything to, any comments or any activity that they think of that Srila Prabhupada was involved in, that you would like to let other people know about it? Do you have any? Get a mic for Prabhu. I want to read a poem that Prabhupada wrote when he arrived in America. He said, "Some say this is the day to commemorate the beginning of the Krishna consciousness movement in the Western world." Here the translation is that some of the verses he wrote on board of the ship, and others he completed them. "My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me." So he is depending on Krishna. "But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion, absorbed in material life. They think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva or Krishna. I do not know how they will be able to understand it." So he was expressing his doubt about his ability to Lord Krishna, but at the same time, he has a lot of faith in Krishna and he was dependent on that. "But I know that your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service?" Well, this is very high item in spiritual life, mellows of devotional life. "Oh Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will. And therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion or Maya. I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message." So this is a plea that Prabhupada is making to Lord Krishna. "How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you." So he is thanking Lord Krishna that he brought him, and now he's also depending on Lord Krishna to make these people get out of the illusion. "Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure, as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel gladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, O Lord, make me dance, as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedant. And now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. So this was a prayer that Prabhupada wrote, feeling how he felt when he saw how the people are and how culturally they are so different from the culture that he was brought in. All right, okay. So, anyone has any comments? Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So this episode happens in, it's mentioned in Srila Prabhupada Leela. So this is about the printing of Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes.
So how Srila Prabhupada was so determined, and his determination was so contiguous that his determination was transmitted to his disciples as well. So when Prabhupada was there, he wanted to print and publish his books, distribute his books, because that was one of the instructions of his Guru Maharaj.
Yes. Yes.
So he wanted to publish Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he was saying to his disciples that, we have so many things and we have to get it done by this particular date. All disciples were saying that it is not possible because such a big work, it has a lot of verses, translations and purports, and it's not that Prabhupada had completed all the translation and purport of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada was doing that. At the same time, he wanted to get the things published parallelly. So they were not very confident, but then Srila Prabhupada was pushing his disciples, and it's mentioned that they were working around almost 24 hours a day to print Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even in the midnight, they were like drawing the pictures which are supposed to come in the book, and they were sending the proof to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was reading the proof, correcting the proof, and not only that, Prabhupada was also giving translation and purport for the next set of books. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada and his disciples together, they were able to complete the translation purport of Chaitanya Charitamrita and print within a stipulated time. So this shows Srila Prabhupada's determination, and in fact Srila Prabhupada blessed his disciples who were working for the printing of Chaitanya Charitamrita, that whoever has worked for this printing of this book or helping in proofreading or whatever services in getting Chaitanya Charitamrita printed, that they will go back home back to Godhead. So that was the blessing Srila Prabhupada has given. But this is an example of how Srila Prabhupada is so determined in things to get the things done and to bring the message of Lord Chaitanya to this world. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Regarding the Chaitanya Charitamrita translation, Prabhupada said that it's not going to be like some people who are going to translate according to just the dictionary, but it's going to be translated according to the real spiritual knowledge. And he was into it and he made it. So it was I think the last book that he translated. First one was Bhagavad Gita as it is, and then the second was the 18 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he translated some other books also, short books. They were part of Srimad Bhagavatam and also Bhagavad Gita. So these are little short books that he translated them. Okay, anyone else wants to? Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu just mentioned again Srila Prabhupada's determination. And to be determined, usually for spiritual values, it's a lot of struggle.
Yes.
It's a lot of it is internal. Does the struggle ever end?
Yes.
So can you please elaborate on that, Prabhu?
Well, the struggle never ends because this is a material world. So any kind of steps you take, there is going to be always counter steps. When we in this class, in the lecture, I mentioned that Prabhupada said that to Krishna that I want to build you a temple. And at that time, there was nothing that was going to stop him from doing that. But then problems arose. So these things happen, but it also is a way Krishna is looking at, are they going to give up or are they going to continue? And we should never give up. And that is what Prabhupada's life is all about. He never gave up. Especially when you are doing work for Krishna, then you should never give up. Material work and all that, things happen and you can give them up. But do not think that Krishna will help me. Of course, Krishna helps, but also he makes sure that, well, the step that you have taken to do this activity in the material project, there are going to be some problems. And there are 5 factors that decide whether the project is going to be completed or not. The last item is that you have to depend on Krishna. That this project, I have got the money, I have got the plan, I have got everything, and the contractors and builders and everything. But the person may think that I'm going to do it. He should think that Krishna is going to help me do it. And that is the thing that we lack. We do not have that faith that Krishna is behind everything. Krishna is behind everything. And we should cultivate that knowledge that He is in charge, He is in control, and any project will require His blessing. And unless we have that, we do not get successful in any kind of material activities. Not many people know that, because that is how the material world is. We say we work, we make money. Now I have enough money, I will go ahead and start this project. But you run into problems, and that is the whole thing. Prabhupada ran into such a highly devoted person to Krishna. He ran into problems, and that is the material nature. It is the 3 modes of material nature act upon us, and so we run into a lot of problems. I don't know if I answered your question, but the thing is, we have to depend on Krishna. That is the main thing. You have to depend on Krishna, because when you depend on Krishna, you are aware that I am going to run into material problems, and I cannot solve those problems. Only through Krishna that I can solve them. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. I think
Yeah.
it was a very nice answer, Prabhu. Thank you so much. What you said, and it echoes in my heart, because what you say, it's true. The struggle never ends.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody thinks the struggle is never going to end,
Yes.
it is so daunting.
Yeah.
But the last point that you mentioned is one has to depend on Krishna.
Right.
Krishna's reciprocation with us is proportional to our sincerity towards Him. And that is very hope-giving in that struggle.
Right.
So thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
When we have to have the sincerity, we have to believe that Krishna is in charge and He is going to solve the problem for us. Now it also happens that Krishna will also let us know that this is not the project is going to work out. And so many a time we have got, parents, they want their kids to become doctors and so on, but the kids do not have that push or to become that. So it all depends on how Krishna looks at it and how he helps us solve our problems. Thank you. Any other question? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for that class. This past week I was reflecting quite a bit on Srila Prabhupada, and I wanted to thank you for reminding us about Srila Prabhupada's patience and perseverance.
Yes.
I don't have the full details, this is just a reflection, but I had heard in a class that Srila Prabhupada would engage anyone so that he could translate his books into English. So there was a aspiring bhakta which was kind of creating some disturbance in a temple community, and he told Srila Prabhupada, I don't sleep at night, because his nature that he was coming from, he was a thief. So at night time he would steal from people. So he told Srila Prabhupada told him, you go outside in the street and you get these barking dogs at nighttime. Get them to be quiet and go away. So I was just thinking, it's so rare that we have the human form of life, but at the same time, thinking about Srila Prabhupada's thinking about us in the early hours of the morning to make sure that these books are available for us, that he would engage even thieves in devotional service so that he could translate the books for us. So I just thought I would share that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Regarding talking about thieves, there was a thief whose father told him that anywhere there is any Krishna Katha going on, close your ears. Don't hear it, because if you hear it, then you will lose your ability to do stealing. So he kept that word of his father. And so when he was, one time he was passing by where the Krishna Katha was going on, and he dropped something. So he removed his ears from here and started to pick up. Well, Krishna name entered his ears, and then from that time onward, he became a devotee also. So this is how Krishna also helps you and change that thief into a nice person. There are different ways Krishna helps us. Any other question, any other comments? Okay, we'll stop here, and the next item is Aarti. So we'll start with that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Let's give another round of applause for Vaikuntheswar Balaji Prabhu for the wonderful class. Vaikuntheswar Balaji Prabhu has been one of the founding fathers of our community here in ISKCONofRoundRock. Prabhu, along with Mataji, have been practicing Krishna consciousness for decades and have inspired so many of us to continue to do service like this, and we're so grateful that Prabhu gave us such a wonderful class. The next part of the program is Aarti, so we request everyone, as you're all doing already, putting the mats in the back, and you can all come closer to the deities today as we get ready for Aarti. Hare Krishna.
श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया सुदर्शन देव की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। You got it? नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। चैतन्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe.
Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe.
Bolo Radhe Radhe Govinda.
Radhe Radhe Govinda.
Govinda Radhe.
Govinda Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govinda.
Radhe Govinda.
Govinda Radhe.
Govinda Radhe.
Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe.
Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe.
Jaya Jaya Jagannath Jagannath Baladev. Jaya Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Jaya Jagannath Jagannath Baladev. Jaya Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Gurudev.
Gurudev Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki
Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Dayine. Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha. Shilatanka Nakhalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
मम देव शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंह मम देव शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमल वरे नाथाम् अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता हर हरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की